And we are live. Hello, Larry. It's good to see you, sir. I hope you are doing well. Um, I switched some things up a little bit, just a little. And so it's still pretty daylight out here where I'm at. So I have my camera switched. I have the the main, we'll call it the good camera. I have the good camera on the t-shirt wall that is now finally complete. Well, kind of complete. We'll say it's I'm sure still a work in progress, but here's the important thing. These have been on the wall for I think going on almost 2 weeks now. Not one of them has fallen. So we do have them up here with the SK banner and some other assorted shirts down here on the side. Um, I would, I could probably play with this a little more. I don't know how to crop the camera and kind of focus in and do what I want to do. What we do have here is up in the far corner. Obviously, we have Work Pro next to Brad's workbench. Then below that, we have Tools and Trash and Ulsa Tools. Shout out to Canada. Then lower down here, very heavy, very hard to get up on the wall, but I managed to do it. The Renegades Garage hoodie, and then some other assorted shirts. One from Apache Pine, who is the company that makes the minimalist wallet that I like. I have a T-shirt from them that I purchased. My Dallas Mavericks jersey that I bought with Dogecoin, and then some funny shirt about maintenance technicians because engineers need heroes, which is probably one of the truest statements I've ever heard. Anyhow, here we are. It is Wednesday night. I know last week I wasn't here, and I know, hearts were not broken. You're still at work. Fix it. What are you doing? You're doing it all wrong, man. 5 o'clock. 5:30 at the latest. You got a jet. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, even though you're at work. Much appreciated. So, I got the wall up. You can't really see the lights very well right now. You kind of see the purplish one that I got going on, but it's too daylight out. I have pollution in my shot, so I do have the lights on there. I got my studio light on my shiny head, and so this is how we're gonna do it at least for this week. So I did get that done. I still have to move the desk over, and if you look behind me, there's a desk and a laptop directly behind me. That is the beginning. It's 8:30, bringing home the bacon. Oh, jeez, long days, man. But hey, financially, it should pay off theoretically if Uncle Sam doesn't take you to the cleaners. Let's just hope for the best there. So behind me is going to be the home office for work. It's been a couple of weeks. Some things changed a bit, and I am officially working from home. Now, currently, I'm basically doing a lot of studying and procedural research on how to do some of the things that I'm going to be expected to do. So right now it's not really what it's gonna be. It's kind of more like computer work, like research and videos and how to's and things like that. Couple meetings and things, but it's I gotta say, I think I understand what a lot of these people talk about, like the working at home and how a lot of people that got to work from home because of the thing that happened last year didn't want to return. Like I spent most of the day working without a shirt on, just, and not even by intent. Like I got up, I got my coffee, I was doing some things, took a shower, came out, I got partially dressed, started working, and then just forgot about it. I think it was sometime after lunch before I realized, I still wasn't wearing a shirt. So it's very interesting. The important thing, though, is that I'm getting some stability in. I'll be working less hours each day, but more days of the week. So I, I, for the most part, I make my own schedule aside from some conference calls and other responsibilities. So it's it's different. It's really different. But the cool thing is, and this is, I think, one of the saving graces of the position. It's still very maintenance. Um, it's very maintenance oriented. So I'm the planner, scheduler, procurement guy for a good portion of Indiana. So I will help them plan projects. I will help them order materials. I will attempt to estimate, what we think, the labor's going to run us, and try to do those things. I organize their work order system, just things like that. Inventory. Uh, there's a lot of reports and stuff, but it's still very much maintenance oriented. So I think that's one of the saving graces, and I can have a larger impact over, a bigger area than just like before where I was running my site and, supporting everybody else around in the network as I could. I'll be a lot more effective. Yes, actually, that means I will be back in Fort Wayne at some point. Actually, the next couple of weeks, I will be going to, I think it's pronounced Maryville. It's up by Gary, and that, I think, is my furthest site from me, and it's a new launch that we're doing. So I'm going up there for the next couple of weeks. Oh, Jesus. Raphael, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad. Well, I sincerely appreciate the super chat, first off. But second, yeah, these shirts, a lot of them, I'm not going to say they're expensive, but they cost money. So the decorations, you know, I like to, though. It's a thing I like to do to be supportive of at least, most of the people that I watch that actually have merch. So far, not that many up here. Yeah, there's the little guy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And that's cool. I never really noticed that, but it actually does if you put a comment with it. It is below on the stream there. So anyhow, Zaphiel, to give you a quick rundown since you've been gone for a while, I'm officially a desk jockey. I know what you're thinking. I am officially a desk jockey. I got a promotion. It is a promotion. And so now I work at home. My other office is, I don't have a rolly chair. I ordered one for the home office, but it'll probably pull double duty. But over yonder, where the laptop is, the printer back there you see, that's my workstation desk, and this is going to be, my personal desk. I'm going to move it up over there. But yeah, so now I'm regional procurement and support for most of Indiana. So that's what we were talking about just there when you were so generous and decided to super chat there. So that's what's been going on with me. It took me 7 months, but I got the shirts on the wall. That's why I switched up the cameras so it would be evident that I actually accomplished something. And it was a pain. Where are they? I thought I set it over here. You can kind of see it though because that camera's got such good resolution. You can see it on like Renegade's hoodie. There's like the 3 little white clips. So basically, what I did before was I got some like regular ass like clothespins, and I thought that would work, but they didn't have enough like surface area, I'm guessing, to stick to the Velcro, or at least the Velcro wouldn't stick to them, and so they would fall eventually. So I tried a couple other things. I was getting frustrated. I was gonna use rope and all this other stuff, and then just one day I forget where I was, some store, and in the like the clearance closeout section or something, I found these little white clips, and the good thing about them is like they're like double wide clothespins, and they're actually kind of small. They're not like real long or anything, and they are meant to be used with the command strips. They're actually like command strip brand. I'd never seen them before, which makes sense that they were in the closeout section. And so I instantly bought all of them. And so I was actually able to get them up. Now, you can't tell probably from the pictures, but I can. There are some wrinkles in the shirts from, where they sat around me trying to figure out how to put them up. So I will like wash them at some point and then kind of rehang them so that they're a little more presentable. But without putting them in like a frame or something crazy, it's it's real hard to get these damn shirts on the wall. So we did get it though. So that's the thing. New job, so to speak, and getting the office together for that. I got to order, guys. I got and now, and I'm not. It's going over there. That's why it's separate, right? Because I want to make sure it's separate. I want to be away from my computer, where all my links are, where all my stuff that I like to look at is, so that I don't have the distraction, right? But I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really happy with what I got to order for my home office. It came highly recommended by just about everyone else that I know that does a similar position or higher that works from home. Is two monitors. Obviously with the laptop driving them, and a docking station, and some other things, Bluetooth conferencing speaker for conference calls, and a few other bells and whistles. So, as far as tech goes over there, I'm going to be set up pretty well. And then if I come up with anything in the future that I deem necessary and I can justify, then I can order that. I also have like a travel card for when I travel. I can just book all that myself now, rent a car, book a hotel, whatever I choose to do. So it's going to be a very interesting thing. But the key point is that I get to pretty much, for the most part, run my own schedule, and I get to do it from here. So I'm doing everything I can not to get distracted, because I'm not used to being in my house and being on the clock at the same time. So I would like to think, compared to, I would hope, most people, I do a pretty good job of staying on task and not getting distracted. So as long as I can keep that up and my work ethic stays good, it shouldn't be a problem, and I should, do well in the position. And yeah, oof, ooh, that would hit hard. Okay, so anyhow, since the beer cam is switched up and I haven't redone the stream skin, today we're drinking something from Todd's Cupcakes. It's something I had in the fridge from last week. It's a Mexican hot chocolate pastry stout. And if you know anything about Mexican hot chocolate, it's spicy. And that's what just hit me is, for lack of a better term, like imagine they brewed beer with like chili peppers. Like it's legitimately it's like hot beer. It's very interesting. But with it being a stout and all the other flavors, it does mesh well, but just every now and again catches me in the back of the throat. Gary, Indiana is the only place we don't go. Yeah, I mean, it's a desk job, but like I said earlier, it's still very maintenance oriented. I'm basically running the back end of maintenance for everything. So it's a change. But as far as most of what I do, I'm not going to be turning wrenches anymore. Not at work, obviously I'll be doing this. So I will consult and assist maybe with some of those that do, but not directly. So it's kind of nice though, because I looked at it the other day. I had to go to my site for something, my old site, and I had to run in there, and I was just kind of like looking around, like I don't really have to work on these things anymore, not directly. And I'm like, huh, like have I ascended? Have I gotten to that level in maintenance where I'm no longer the doer and I'm the, in this case, the planner? Like that's, it's kind of interesting. I used to get paid for what the knowledge I had and what I did with it. Now I almost exclusively get paid for the knowledge that I have and, some back end computer work. I don't really call that like doing a whole bunch physically, you know. So it's going to be real interesting. But enough about that. How is everybody else doing? Larry's back. Everybody give him a warm welcome back to the stream. Zaphael is in here, Larry, a long lost brother of mine. What's been going on with you, man, Zaphael? I haven't. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen you around. I'm sure you've been around. Anything interesting going on with you, sir? Yes, and Mr. Bill is here. My favorite guy. And I do a really good job. I will say this too. Bill has changed my live streams because I used to just cuss whenever. And then at some point when Bill started hanging around, uh, I said, okay, like, well, Bill said to me at some point, like, oh, I don't like the cuss, or whatever have you, and I get it, like some people don't. Now, yeah, I could have handled that a couple of ways, but yeah, I was cognizant of what he said, and I understand, like, I get it, and not to attempt to alienate anybody, I just have slowly attempted to, watch my language in some forms as best I can. And over the last, God, what's it been? Probably like 8 months or something, 9 months, almost a year, Bill. Uh, I've gotten pretty good about, in general, not cussing on the stream. Now, sometimes if I know Bill's not here, I'll let it fly. But for the most part, and that's kind of changed, how my streams kind of are in some part, and I think slightly for the better. I'm not gonna say that it was bad before, but I guess sometimes if you can get your point across without cussing, or the emphasis that you're trying to drive for through cussing, if you can convey that without the vulgarity, then maybe sometimes it's more well received by like general, people, I guess. I don't know. Speculation. But in any way, it has changed the channel for the better, I think, at least the streams. Obviously, I really try not to cuss in videos. But YouTube recently made a change where they loosened up the reins on some of the cussing and things, and I don't want to say like adult content, but the more adult content, right? Cussing in general and stuff, it can actually still be like fully monetized now. Probably because they found advertisers that were like, yeah, we don't care if they cuss. Like, yeah, sure. Or, better yet, if they were smart, they would have said, okay, YouTube, yeah, like yeah, we'll run ads on those, but for like a little less. Like we'll pay you slightly less, which I don't think, anybody on our side would complain about. It's basically just adding to the revenue bucket. Uh oh, gold and silver because of the coming inflation. Is that it, Zaphael? Because, I mean, I'm not, I guess I'm not like, we'll see how it plays out. I'm not directly worried. I'm not like stressed. I probably should be. I just don't have the time and ability to focus on it. But I mean, I will say it's concerned me. My stocks have been in the tank. My crypto is yeah, it's not doing great, but I suffered most of the fall, so I got all those losses anyway. So what I am still holding, I'm just like, well, screw it. Like, how much lower can it go? So yeah, I don't know. The inflation, if I had to make a bet, if I had to make a bet though, I think it's going to be like the old switcheroo. I think everybody's hedging on inflation, right? But I think, and I probably am wrong, but what I really think is about to happen is it's going to switch real quick to deflation. Like, right, like as soon as everybody really starts feeling like something's about to happen and hedging on inflation happening, I think it's going to switch to deflation and just, the bottom's going to drop out of a whole bunch of stuff because these uh, these companies, and this goes through everything, automotive industry all the way up and around and back down. Uh, the prices they're paying for labor right now, in most cases, like I know where I'm at, they haven't gotten crazy, right? They're still reasonable. Like there's been some increases and some things, but it's all been, feasible, right? It's nothing's crazy. I've seen some companies doing crazy wages to try to get people in, bonuses, hiring bonuses, sign on bonuses, like all these things. And I'm like, that's not sustainable. Like, and if it, and if it is, like you've been literally screwing people, employees, and probably customers alike this whole time. Right? I know everybody wants to make a profit, and that's the way the world works, and you got to go based on your sales and or your service or whatever have you, job completion rates. But if a lot of these companies survive whatever financial turmoil is about to transpire, I think that they were paying their employees too little to begin with, and their profit margins on their products or services are just, they must be astronomical if they can stomach paying $5 an hour for some menial, position at a company like, I don't know what the minimum wage technically is in Ohio right now. I used to keep up on that, but I'm far from minimum wage now, so I don't know. But like I saw a thing, it was like some restaurant, Wendy's or something, had a sign out front saying like 12 plus dollars an hour, which, and I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I'm not saying they don't deserve that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I want to say it's like, maybe it's $9 an hour or something like that is minimum wage. We'll go with that. We'll say it's 9 in Ohio. And if it was 9 before, and then just basically overnight. Now, granted, you're suffering labor shortages, and that's causing issues with operating your business. But if you could stomach paying them 9, and you're with your profits before, and now that's in jeopardy, and you're so desperate that you'll now pay them 12 plus, whatever that is, then like you're literally taking a hit to your profit. So couldn't you have done that before? Couldn't you have paid your employees a little more? Couldn't you have, you know, lessened your profit margins a little bit? Like that's what I guess I think it's exposing the greed, right? In a lot of these companies where like everyone's got to make a profit. You got to make a buck. You got to, be able to keep the lights on and support your families and your employees, but I guess it's how companies do that that may eventually, in this whatever financial crisis this is about to be, come to light because something ain't right. Like you can't. That's a 25% increase. Well, actually, I think it's kind of more than that. If $9 was 100%, it's actually more than 25%. But we'll call it 25%. 25% increase in wages like overnight because your business is in jeopardy. Like, so okay, let's assume they couldn't do $3 before that. They sounds like they could have done $1.50 and been okay. Yeah, like, so I don't know. It's going to be a weird thing. I think we're going to see a bunch of companies fall under. Which ones, I don't know. But oh, that one hit me. Damn Chili's. Uh, but all I know is that, yeah, some of these things are just not stable. Um, a lot of these industries, man, I see like uh, cleaning services and just there's a lot of the what I'll call like optional or elective services in life that lawn care services and things like this. I think a lot of those are going to go to the wayside if things go south the way I think they're going to. So we'll see. Anyhow, I'm on a rant. It's been a while since I've talked to you guys. So what Zaphael say? He's just wondering how long the government can keep printing presses and debt load going. Right? That's I think like okay. I don't want to go to Mars, right? I don't. Like I have no drive, no desire, right? But who was it? Somebody weren't we talking about this a couple streams ago? Isn't it like it's basically somebody said it's like basically like the old west on the planets. They're basically saying like a corporate I think they said like companies can't like oh we own this planet. But as far as like colonization goes, like you get there and you can say this section of land is mine. Now, what's that size and what's that amount and like what can you really do with it on your own? Who knows. But as far as the financial aspect of it, like because you got to admit, if we get to Mars, now it's still, I would like to think it'll be in my lifetime. I might be dead by then. Probably will. But if they have a different monetary system, right? It's not gonna it can't it almost literally cannot be the US dollar, right? Whatever it is. Whatever they end up doing over there. So just on that aspect of it, I would be half tempted just to go there just to like financial fresh start. Not that I'm not even in bad shape. I have good credit. I'm thanks to my crypto winnings, I've all but paid off all of my like credit card debt and stuff. I'm in pretty good shape considering where most people are at. So I'm not complaining, but just like a chance at something different and theoretically, hopefully, something better that governments aren't in direct control. Because, like Zaphael says, this printing press and these quantitative easings and all these stimulus, man, like that money ain't free. None of that money's free. Like they're, I'm gonna say it in the way that I see it. You may not agree, and that's fine. But they're paying for your servitude, right? Like they're paying to keep you out of the streets or doing whatever you have to do to survive. They were literally like buying people's complacency and, throwing them a lifeline, whatever you want to call it. But because without some of those, there would have been a lot more looting, a lot more issues, and we probably wouldn't be as well off right now as we are. But there's a cost to that. You're deflate. Well, I guess in this case, inflating the dollar. right? Because you're just printing all this money, and everyone's got to pay more. And I mean, all the things we've already discussed, but it's not good. And a lot of people are blind to what goes on in terms of the Federal Reserve Bank and GDP and what's like we've been so far from sustainable financially in forever. And all these countries owe money. We owe money, China owes money to us, we owe money to China, Japan, Germany, just all these like places, and all the humanitarian aid and all these things. Countries owe money. How else do you think they go bankrupt? Because they owe too much money. Whole countries owe money to who? To the central bankers and vis-a-vis, through other countries a lot of times because, those central banks. These central banks are private entities. They are not the government. Like, I think a lot of people hear that, but nobody hears really what like that says. There's this group of a few hundred few hundred assholes that literally decide how much money our country can have and whether or not to print more and whether or not to change the interest rates and all. They control the whole, like, money is life. Unfortunately, we all have to make money, we have to spend money, we have to eat, we have to buy the things we need. Money is life. It's not, but you get what I'm saying. You have to have it to survive. And this small group of private people in this Federal Reserve Bank control it. Like, all of it. All of it. All of it. All the money in the United States, they control. Like, what? And nobody, like, really has the power to, like, tell them no or to, like, tell them to fuck off or any of that. Like, I mean, we can advise them, we can ask nicely, for this or that, but that doesn't mean they're going to do it. They pretty much have the final say. Like, are you kidding me? It's a scam, man. I mean, it really is. I mean, we all got to play the game, so I'm still playing it myself, but it's a scam. If I go to Mars and a chance for theoretically a fresh start, I'd almost take like the no oxygen environment trade-off just to see how that would go. It'll be interesting if I live long enough to see it. So, anyhow, let's see if anybody else says anything. Bill says Chipotle company is now paying $15 an hour. The average price for each item is going up about 19 cents. Okay, see, now that's not bad. I would guess they're still banking on being popular, sales, being, decent. So, and that might be the case for them, but that's not going to be the case for everybody. You know what I mean? So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens to these companies as things go along. We as a whole are too big to fail. I don't know, but like, okay, so let's say that. Okay, we're too big to fail. Like, at what point are we playing, Monopoly? Well, like, actually, if you look at it, a long time ago, we went from playing a real game with real assets to Monopoly. And so, too big to fail just means they print more money, which just means your money's valued less, which means everything costs more, which, I mean, it's a cycle. And if it gets out of control or too many people recognize the scam, it's going to get bad. Yeah, the interest and the payments and things are, damn, I'm just never going to get on topic tonight. But I watched this thing the other day, and almost every single financial expert I've ever seen, right, has said, round about the same thing. They say credit and loans and things are bad. Your money is your power. Save it, live frugally, build up your nest egg, start investing, whatever you want to do, but use your money. And you'll see like how much more power you have as you start to actually utilize the wealth that you have. What credit does and loans and interest payments do is it takes the power out of your hands, right? So you take two guys that make, the average income of, let's say, $40,000, I think is about average for, a man in America currently. So take 40,000. Now, let's say the one guy lives real frugally. Maybe he drives a car, maybe doesn't, whatever. But he lives within his means. He saves. He has some money from his paychecks. He saves, and he does that for a couple of years. Like, yeah, there's some tough times. Yeah, there's maybe sometimes he has to do without this or without that, but he's cool with it and he rolls with it and he saves. And he builds up a small nest egg or something and starts investing or whatever over, let's say, between his 20s and his 30s, 10 years. So he builds up a nest egg and, lives within his means and does this. The same guy making the same $40,000, getting loans and doing all this other stuff and, whatever he does with the money, running up credit card debt. He has more stuff. None of that shit lasts. Sorry, Bill. None of that stuff lasts. And at the end of the 10 years, he's almost got nothing to show for it. And that dude's like, let's just throwing out facts and figures. Let's just say he's 30,000 in debt at the end of the 10 years. And, he's made payments. Let's say he didn't ruin his credit. He didn't go into default, but, he's never really caught it up. And it kind of snowballed on him. So he's 30,000 behind in loans and credit card debt. But the other guy is, say, 30, 50, I don't know, with investments and, if you play your cards right, he's 30, 50, 75,000, positive. That's the two ideas that most people that say loans and credit and lending is bad. Not completely, but I mean, I would only use them in like strict emergencies when I had no other option and it was detrimental, right? At least now, I wouldn't. But I saw this video the other day of one of these guys, I don't even know who, somebody, financial expert, and he was doing this little spiel and talking about how he only uses credit cards because he's not spending his money, he's spending their money, and his money's invested and making him money while he's using the credit card and then paying it all, like, and all this stuff. And I'm like, the minute, like, okay, yeah, if you got enough money and your spending's on track and okay, like, they're people are getting wise to the idea, right, and starting to think credit's bad. So then they have these people come out, the talking heads and the financial experts, and then say, oh, no, credit isn't bad, you're just not using it right. And so his argument is he's making money on his money in investments, which will argue that he could be doing that anyway. But he's saying that he makes the payments and does the things with his money that he doesn't invest. It's the same thing, except, if he doesn't pay it off every month, he's getting hit with interest. The interest is 24%. So is the money that you're saving and investing or whatever the hell it is that this guy was trying to talk about, are you making the 22? Well, okay, let's say he has great credit. The 10 to 22% interest that credit line is going to cost you if you get charged interest, is it making that every 30 days? Because if not, then you're still going to lose money. They're changing the narrative to where they're trying to convince people still that credit and loans are a good idea, right? Oh my God, interest rates are so low right now. Yeah. Have you seen housing prices? They're through the roof if you can find one. And if you do, you're going to have to pay over market value in the current market. Like, yeah, you got like a 1% interest, but you paid like 40, 50% more on your loan as a whole. Now, I'm not going to break down the math, but I will take a 4% interest loan on a $75,000 house, right? Okay, 4.5. I think that's what mine is anyway, right? So 4.5. Okay, yeah, screw it, whatever. But then you want me to take a, let's just say 1.9% on the same house, except it's going to cost me 130 or 115, whatever. But like it's not much different. You're actually, it's about the same, if not more. So like they keep switching. It's the shell game, man. They're switching the shells. They're trying to convince people, like, don't fall for it. It's like how most everybody gets wise to like the Snap-on and the Mack trucks and the tool trucks in general. After getting burnt a couple of times. Now, some guys still like it. Some guys have a good rep, and those things. And I'm not dogging it. I'm just saying a lot of guys, it's like, drinking or illicit drugs, like they swear it off, you know, or like a bad girlfriend with certain traits. They're just like, nope, never again. And so that's what people are doing with credit and with the financial system. A lot more people are wising up, and I think you're going to see them changing the game and how they try to present it, because credit cards are the largest marketed item in history. Credit is the largest marketed. They've spent more money marketing credit than any other product in the history of humankind. Now, why is that? Why are there all these reward programs? Why are all these get your flight miles, get your cash back, get your this, your build up and get gift cards, or your whatever. Everyone thinks, oh yeah, look at what all I'm getting. They're making money off you. Listen. They're if they're selling you something, they're making money. They're not going to let you use that shit for free. Like, whether it's your data or the interest or a combination of both, your purchasing patterns, now you got to think about this. It's probably so much more deep than we even think, right? Like, I bet the credit card company can probably link now with all the information they have on us. They can probably go, yeah, we showed this guy 10 advertisements for this product he was talking to his friend about, because we're listening to his microphone, right? We showed this guy 10 different ads over a 2-week period. And then finally, on this 10th ad, he bought it with his credit card and charged it. And that ad was this. So then now they have information. They're probably either selling to other ad companies, or maybe that company directly tried to give them the data. I don't know. But saying, of all these ads, this is the one that was the most effective. And, so they're getting your purchase history. They're getting all this stuff. I think it's probably deeper than we all think. But you're the product now. I mean, your money too. But that's almost a side point. Like, you're the product. Like, and they're selling you something. So, I don't know. I've obviously gotten on a rant here. Being that I, for the first time in about 15 years, am not only net positive, but aside from the house and some other small things, completely debt free for the most part. I feel really good about that. It's nice not to have that monkey on your back, and it seems like it's gonna get worse for other people. Oh, wrenching the bolts. What's going on, buddy? Oh, man. I think there's something going on at the bottom of my cup. All the hot stuff's just like sitting at the bottom, maybe filling the cup back up with the rest of the glass, or with the rest of the can. It's rough, but there's financial help out there. I mean, shit, guys. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you want advice or you need tips or any of that stuff, my email's in every video. Just drop me an email. I'll respond to it. If I can't help you, in general, I can probably find some resources did you watch your debt, and especially like what Zaphael was saying earlier, at this point in time with where we're at and what the government's doing and how everything is, it's a good time to try to hedge your bets. I mean, I don't have a lot of liquid at the moment from paying off all the debt, but I have some. Like if I really needed to liquidate, I wouldn't be broke. And I have some assets and some other things. I have some we'll call them heavy metals, brass and lead and those things, and that's my hedge against we'll call it volatility in the market. So am I recession proof? No, but am I probably going to be able to make it out okay? I would like to think so. So just be careful because this whole thing could go sideways in the matter of a month or two. Remember what happened in 2008? All it takes is like a few cookies to crumble, and then all of a sudden the whole tea party's gone to shit. Mm-hmm. No, they didn't. Wait a minute. What? Hold on. Hold on. Larry, is he right? Yes, but what? What? Wait, no. Larry said it. Larry said it first. Where did Larry say it? They said the average person will die with 50K in debt. Yeah, screw a bunch of that. Wait a minute. Larry, hold on. Now I gotta. Yes, anyone can email Josh about damn near anything, and he will respond. He is that friendly of a guy. Hold on, I gotta pull up. I gotta pull this down. I gotta pull this over. I gotta pull this up and see. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm going to get you there. I'm going to get you there. Let me switch over. Here it is. Holy sh. Now, hold on. This is kind of crazy, but let's talk about this. So, in July 2021, that's now, SK Tools was acquired by Hangzhou Great Star Industrial, owner of Shopvac, Aero Fastener, Pony Jorgensen, also owner of WorkPro, Everbright. So that's our friends. Now, I know what you're thinking, and I'm thinking the same thing too. Ouch. That's SK's literally one of the greats. I don't know how it has gotten this bad. I blame you and me. I blame all of us for not buying. And I made a video a while back, like, should you buy? And I said the prices and a lot of what we were talking about earlier, prices and profit margins and things. Like, I'm not going to say they were being too greedy. I don't know what their profit margins were, and they did have sales at a lot of places quite often. So maybe they were trying, but yeah, they might be closed, Bill, but what they're saying is they still own the name. So if they want to bring it back, they can. It's just like beers. Like way back in the day, there were all these breweries, right? And so, over time they would shut down, and and sell their intellectual property and maybe even their physical property to other companies. And rather than like keep it going, they would just kind of close it down, but they still own the name. So like here's for instance, Pabst Blue Ribbon did this with a bunch of breweries. They bought up a whole bunch of like old school beer companies that closed down. So they own the formulas and the rights to brew all these beers we haven't seen in like 50 years. So if, God forbid, they wanted to try to bring one back, they could. So that's the thing with Shopvac is I don't know that they're completely out of business. They might be. It sounds like, but if they are, they still own the name and they can do with what they want. You know, they could sell it to Black and Decker or whoever. So, but anyway, it's it's a it's a big that's a big loss. That's a big loss in terms of made in America tools. Holy shit! Why didn't somebody say this? Um, well, I, 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 I will say this, Zaphael. I like. Well, I haven't seen Sue or whatever her name is. I haven't seen her around in a long time, and I don't think maybe she stopped by here like once, but by that, that's not necessarily what I mean. What I mean is, in comparison, their their price to quality ratio is not as bad as most of the stuff you see coming out of China. Maybe I use the term friends loosely, but I don't hate them. Now I don't like everything they make, and I certainly don't buy everything they make. But sometimes I've bought the Work Pro versus some other Chinese brand. I'll say that I should have and could have done a better job of buying SK and Made in America in general. But sometimes the price point and your frequency of use just don't match up with a high purchase price. So I like them for certain aspects. I don't buy all their stuff. They're not the first company I look for. I will shop around. But I'm saying in terms of China companies, they're not. I think they're much higher than most that you see. They I would like to think in most cases it shows that they care about their quality a little more than what is mostly coming out of China. That being said, in this case, this is a huge hit for American made tools, and you gotta start wondering. SK has been around how fucking long? How long have they been around? About 100 years. Oh my god. Oh, what a slap in the face. On your 100-year anniversary, you sell to China. Oh man, y'all ruined my fucking night. Jeez. Oh, that's depressing. Let's drink one for them. Oh, a bunch of Americans just probably lost their jobs. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that, Larry. China. Now here's the thing. I now okay. Here's my thing. Zaphael seems to be. I'm not going to say the detractor, but he seems to have some of the strongest views that are being voiced at the moment. So I will ask him directly. Now, understand the situation that we're in. What just happened? How would you feel about China? I don't know what their plans are, but how would you feel about China keeping the factory open? Let's just say everybody keeps their jobs, best case scenario, and they continue making SK tools here in America. Now, I'm not going to say we're not going to talk about is the quality going to suffer, what's it going to be like under Chinese. We're not talking about that. I'm just talking in general. If they do what is the best case scenario at this point, which would be keep the factories here open, keep Americans employed, keep making literal made in America tools, how would you feel in support of them? Like, could you support them under those conditions, being a China company doing that? because I think that would be that's the absolute, I think, best case scenario, and even then it's iffy, right? Like that's real iffy to think. You know what I think it is too? I think it's this light. Yeah, I think it's this light killing me on the lights over here on the t-shirts. It's getting all drowned out. Anyhow, I think the best case scenario would be for them to, holy shit, um, to try to keep the factories open. I think that's a pipe dream, though. I really do. I think they're, if anything, I think. Let me kill my miner here. If anything, I think they're gonna take, like, but I don't know. Like, I can't think. Have they done this? Not them being in Great Star Tools, but anybody have any precedents here of any Chinese or otherwise companies that have bought American companies? Like, did they kill it and squash it? Because it seems like that's a big name to try to like just let go wayside. I would think it'd be in their financial best interest to keep making tools under SK. I would prefer here in the States, probably in China, but yeah, we did it to ourselves. I definitely agree with that. They're playing the long game and they're good at it. Yeah, yeah, I completely agree with that. Oh, man. And I got the fucking banner. Oh, oh. Sorry, Bill. Oh, I got the Chinese banner on my wall. Which I have the Work Pro shirt. Like I said, I don't hate Work Pro. I don't hate Great Star Tools. I think they do some stuff. They have a use. There's a place for them somewhere. When you need a relatively cheap tool for a task you're not going to perform a whole bunch, yeah, there's a use for it. But God, they, oh man, oh, that's a hit. What's next? Like, how long can Snap on hold out? How long can, Williams hold out? How long can, uh, God, who else we got? Williams, Wright. Um, there's not a lot left, guys, of American made tool companies. If this is not your wake up call to do everything you can to try to support the last few that we have remaining, I don't know what is. So I know it sucks because a lot of times the cost is, substantially more than, some cheap BS, but it sounds like it might be necessary. The sad thing is that a lot of I love Chinese food. The sad thing is that most of us already have, all of our tools, and they're not things that you need to buy. But in this, maybe it's not all our fault. Maybe we could blame some some of the blame on like younger generations because like millennials or like these young people, you know, maybe didn't have like the greatest father figures, maybe weren't interested in like projects and working with their hands, you know. They buy a house or they do some whatever. You know, they just go to the store and buy a hammer and some nails. They just go buy some wrenches because they need some wrenches. They don't care. They don't know. They're not looking at the sourcing and whether or not it's made in America and how long's that thing going to last them and all that. They're not. So we'll call it a combination of factors. Yeah, Sears Craftsman, Armstrong. Oh, yeah. I was. Where was I? I was at like an antique, like kind of like flea market, and there was not a bunch of tools, but there were a lot of tools running around there. And of course, anytime I see anything, I just, I pour over all of it just to see what I'm working with. And there was some, decent stuff. I didn't see anything amazing. But, I, I don't know if it's home to them, but I know they're all here, Bill. All the tool truck, I don't know if they manufacture here. I know Wright Tools manufactures here. Williams Tools, I want to say, manufactures here. I thought SK did. I know Proto has, at the very least, a toolbox factory down in southern Ohio. I used to live in the same town years ago. And that's where they make most of their toolboxes and tool chests and things. So that's down there. Like, Ohio's still big in the manufacturing. I don't know why. I bet you engineered the SK Work Pro deal. Evidence is on the wall behind you. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. That just sucks, man. I still have some SK stuff I bought last year that I haven't really even broken in. Oh, man. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna keep tabs on this now. I'm gonna see what they do with it. Maybe I'll message Sue and see if I can get an inside track. Yeah, Williams is Snap-on Industrial. I know, but God, why do I have to ruin my day? Why? Who did that? Who was the first one? I'm gonna scroll back. I couldn't. Was it Larry, or Larry was confirming what somebody else said? I can't go back that far, but whoever you are, I'm not happy with you. Yeah, Lima's just, well, it's like, I don't know, maybe like an hour north of me, Bill. It's not a bad little town. It's kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. Like, so it is the thing, uh, the place to be up there. There's me. We're here where I'm at. There's like not much north of me. Some other small towns about my size, but nothing much. And then cornfields all the way up to Lima. You pass Lima, there's nothing all the way until Toledo. Xavier Owen. No, you're fine. Come here, sir. What do you need, sir, that you are so important that you have to get on the YouTube live stream? What do you want?
I just wanted to say hi.
You just wanted to say hi to the people?
Hi, everyone.
Do you see yourself? You're the little guy there. And then up there we have the shirt cam, which is looking at all our pretty shirts and decorations on the wall, right? And then over there's the chat. That's where everyone is and where they're commenting,
Okay.
right? Bill was the first one to. Okay, Bill, you ruined my day.
Hashtag Bill.
Hashtag Bill ruined my day. Yeah, there's
Hi,
Bill.
Xavier.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi,
Bill
Bill.
said hi. So, how was your day, Ben?
Oh, look at that guy. He says, hello there.
Yes, that's Larry. He's the guy who won the Flex Tools. Remember the drills that I bought not too long ago?
Oh.
Yeah, he's the guy that won them. Oh, now he's playing with the the microphone sound level. No, don't screech, sir. That's not. We want to lower your voice, not raise it.
So, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and
Comment.
leave a comment.
And leave a
Below.
comment. Yes, below. And, yeah, links in the description, right? All right.
Ah!
Did you just? What was that?
I control
Okay, give me a kiss. All right, love you. Go play. And now we have control of the live stream back from the future of YouTube. He watches, I guess about as much as anyone else, and so I've called it YouTube speak. He does that. Like, we'll just be doing random things, and he'll go into his, like, don't forget to comment and leave a like on the video, like YouTube speak. And I'm like, God, like, I don't even do that. Like, I guess it's like kids and imagination and the way that they play, like, it's kind of changed. They see a lot of videos and stuff, so I guess it kind of makes sense, but it's still a little weird to me. He thinks it's very cool that I'm a YouTuber, and it's funny because I basically do this stuff for fun and to hang out with you guys, so Bill can ruin my night on Wednesday. I need more beer. This is bull. Oh, I haven't. Are there videos? Hold on. I'm gonna get over here. Let's go to video YouTube. Maybe I got the scoop, Bill. Maybe I got the scoop. See if any YouTubers are talking about it. SK is, 4 weeks ago they knew. Somebody made a video about it 4 weeks ago. Jory Sakin, these guys, I guess, are talking about it. So they know, but apparently nobody else knows. So yeah, maybe I got a video where I can basically just redo this whole. Yes,
Dad,
sir.
I just want to show them my my cringe dance moves.
Yeah, we're okay. They can't see you. You gotta come this way a little. Okay, there you go. These are your cringe dance moves. Why would you do cringe dance moves? Don't you want to be a good dancer? This guy is a cheese. He's a camera cheese. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I've created a monster, guys. Anyhow, so I just wrote an estimate for a woman whose son is a giant on YouTube. He is giving lessons on building a channel. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, guys, I think we can all be honest. There's 5 of you here. If I'm just gonna say my channel's dead. I come here and I hang out with you guys, and I'm sure if I get the wherewithal and the ability to actually start making these videos, and maybe I will here shortly now that the job has kind of changed and I might have some more time, unless I do something. Like, my channel's dead. I basically hang out on YouTube for fun, and I'm lucky enough that I was big enough at one point that some of you guys come to hang out and ruin my night or my week. Oh, jeez. There have been talk for a while. CP put one out today. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up. But that's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. That's just, oh. I'd almost rather they just go out of business than sell, but they gotta sell, they gotta make their money back, or what they can of their money back. Yeah, building a channel takes time. I mean, I've been on here for 3.5. What is it? July? A little over 3.5 years. It's not bad. I've almost, it's funny. I spent all this time and it wasn't my primary goal, but I spent all this time, building the channel and all this. I finally get monetized. My life falls apart. That's my own fault. But my life falls apart, and now that I'm finally monetized, I've almost been monetized for a year now. I think that's like sometime next month, like early next month. Um, I've been monetized for a year, and I've barely put out any videos. None, no good videos. None like that got like, you know, 50K views or anything decent. So it's kind of funny how the world works. You think you want something, or you think you can do something, and then sometimes when you finally achieve it, it's like, eh. Because I said at one point in a live stream, probably forever ago, like, why would you ever, if you're making money off the videos, why would you ever stop making videos? Case in point, like, I'm not even depressed. I actually feel pretty good considering my, current state of affairs. But I just can't get the time and the wherewithal and the drive to like actually shoot videos currently. Do you, Larry? Do you have over the 1K and now you just need the watch time? The watch time's the well, not well for me it wasn't, because I had a couple videos do really good and it still do really good. I still pull, round about $100 a month on my YouTube revenue. So that's not bad. And that's where, like the giveaways and things, are being funded from, basically, minus tax implications, whatever those are. And, well, it helped that this year I invested, a lot of the channel, actually all of the channel profits from like the last 6 months went into Dogecoin. So that, went up. Uh, and that's where I was able to do the Flex Tools giveaway, which Mr. Larry should be enjoying in some form or another. Um, and those, I mean, I almost, I don't know. I've thought about like trying to rebrand the channel into like slightly something else, keeping the name, but like trying to do other things. I just haven't come up with anything yet. Like, it sounds cheap, but I kind of need like easier to make content. Tool reviews are hard. Car work is hard, especially when you don't have a garage. It's damn near impossible. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what'll happen. I'll try to keep my finger on the pulse and see if I come up with anything. But it's a pain. It really is. Yeah, that impact has a lot of power. I was fairly surprised with it, just the little bit that I messed with it, and I believe you were kind enough. He was able to confirm to me that it pulled a lug nut off of. It was a truck, right, Larry? It was his truck. Pulled a lug nut off of his truck, the quarter-inch impact. Now, if you remember, I tried to do the same thing with the Ryobi Quiet Strike, and it did not do that. Now, the Quiet Strike specifically has a different mechanism in it than a lot of the other quarter-inch impacts, because it's um, like a hydraulic fluid in the, I'm assuming the gearbox there, that's supposed to help keep it quieter. Uh, so maybe it doesn't have enough ass compared to some of the other ones, but who was it? It was Client Graphics a while back had said that he was, I think it was maybe it was the Bauer or something. He had one of the quarter-inch impacts, like the mid to low grade brand, and he claimed it pulled a lug nut off of like his wife's SUV or something. I mean, he did it in the video, but the question at that point, and this is no dig on Chris or anything, but you got to question like, well, what was it torqued down to before you took it off? Like, yeah, yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, seems like It's the Zaphael. It's the quarter-inch impact from Flex Tools. I did a quick video overview of the tools themselves. I bought the 2-pack. I bought the hammer drill and quarter-inch impact combo. Comes with a 5 amp hour and a 2.5 amp hour battery charger. And I believe, Larry, I never did ask you this. Did you activate the lifetime warranty? Please tell me that you did. I mean, I guess if you didn't, that's like your choice and that's fine. But the biggest idea with that was the lifetime warranty, right? Because the lifetime warranty applies to the batteries, the charger, the tools, everything. So, oh, sweet, he got the lifetime warranty. So he's got a nice little set of tools for life. Like, I mean, how now and I guess we'll wait and see maybe one day what that warranty process is like and how that goes. But let's assume that it continues in a fair state. Like, free hammer drill because yours went tits up, or free battery because yours doesn't really hold a charge anymore. Sweet. Like how can you beat that? Oh, most cars are, yeah. I think some of the bigger ones are up to, like, I've seen some as high as like 120 on some of them, but yeah, they don't want you to torque lug nuts too hard because then you start stretching out the stud or stripping things, and that's just not good for anyone. Oh, okay. Well, anyhow, God, this beer's got my sinuses running. It's not like super spicy, but like, I guess it's getting to me. Okay, so the original idea between tonight's live stream was to come on here. I finally found Hand Tool Rescue, and I guess if you like scroll enough, you like some of these guys are actually putting their YouTube videos on here, and I believe per fair use, as long as I'm on here providing commentary of what I think, it's legal. So, like, here's this guy. And I might have to turn off. Okay, desktop audio is off. So we're not going to hear the audio. And, oh, shit. Am I going to see ads because I'm not logged into YouTube? Why does that look like CG? That's a really good shot. Here, I'll hit watch on YouTube because I won't see ads over here. And it'll be slightly bigger. So, okay, it's a rusty, like 90-degree pipe wrench kind of thing. It's old for sure. And that's a lot of rust. So let's see what he does with this. He is antique or AJ Restorations, 12,500 subscribers. So he's not a small channel. It's locked up. Okay. I see a lot of people do the electrolysis, and that's fine, I guess. I don't think it's like really necessary though. I think if you just do vinegar or what is it, rust reformer or whatever, I think you would be fine. Like, I think it's the impatience of people that cause them to use electrolysis. And if you're looking at this, he can't even dip the whole tool at the same time. So it's like, oh, that's interesting. He's okay. So he, in this case, has it like grounded to the can. Okay, that's smart. That's different than what most people are doing. And so then, yeah, he's got his little system here. Okay, all right. I'll give him that one. It's pretty smart. Yeah, that's cool. So now turn on the power supply and watch it go. So yeah, mostly I just see here, I just see like impatience, right? They just don't want to wait like overnight. I mean, maybe they still do. I've not looked at the time frame like versus just soaking it, but I guess theoretically it works faster or slightly better. Mark's here. Well, hi, Mark. After a long rant and conversations about different things, some of which made me very sad, we are now watching tool restorations on, well, from Reddit, but I'm watching it on YouTube so I don't see ads. And there's my miner going crazy again. Every time it switches mining platforms, it comes back up like that. Whew. Ooh, this beer. It's about time for another one. So, okay. I didn't see if that was WD-40 or if that was actual penetrating fluid, but he threw some stuff on there. He's trying to get the screw out. Some heat. I mean, at least the guy knows what he's doing. Okay, so Electrolysis couldn't penetrate the thread, he says. You need a screwdriver with a hex bolster on it. Shock treatment. Hit it with a hammer. Yeah, bro. You're gonna break that screwdriver. Oh no, don't. Okay. Alright, you're just gonna go there? Alright. Well, I mean, he's determined. You gotta give him that. Yes, sir. I have Todd's Cupcakes Mexican hot chocolate pastry stout currently. And it's a 12.2% pint. And it is kicking my ass because it's Mexican hot chocolate. So it's actually got like peppers in it. It's pretty spicy. I'm about to switch to something else though because it's kicking my ass. Hey Derek, how's it going, sir? Okay, so it looks like he's almost worked the mechanism out. Yep, somebody's letting off fireworks. My kids are going crazy. So okay, he had to destroy the screw, but he got it apart. Sandblasting. This is the one thing. I will watch sandblasting for hours on YouTube. All right, Bill, thank you very much for hanging out. I appreciate the information about SK. I will monitor the situation and report back. But it's a very sad day, I think, for all of us. Now, it looks like he's actually using a media blaster because I don't know if it's actually sand, but it looks a little black. But yeah, media, sand, whatever. This is going to be interesting to see what he does with the finish because there's going to be a lot of pitting on this metal from all that rust over all those years. So it's going to be interesting to see how he tries to cope with that. Whether he tries to like resurface it or I don't know, just like blacken the metal again once he gets it refinished, so to speak. Oh god, yep, filing and sanding. Here we go. Yeah. Oh. See, this is the one part, like, there's a couple schools of thought, and a lot of them say, like, you shouldn't actually refinish, like, the tool like this. You should attempt to, like, keep it intact, but if this is what he wants to do, I'm not going to hate on him, but it's very interesting. Okay, I don't get what's up. Like, why all the heat to like? Okay, I mean, okay, so he doesn't look like he's going for like a spit shine, right? He's still just kind of smoothing it out as best he can, I guess. It doesn't look like he's going like full bore on it, so I guess that's good. I still personally want to see some pitting on this when he's finished. And it'd be interesting if he blackens it and then re-shines it. Looks like that might be the route that he's going. Okay, so it's a happy medium. He's kind of refinishing it a little bit. Unless he keeps going and then, we know where he'll end up. So I guess is the heat supposed to help him like sand it? Is he trying to like soften the metal? I don't quite understand why all the heat treatment. Children, you're being very loud. Okay, so yeah, it looks like he's going to paint or something here. I have a lot of respect for people who take like the attention to detail like this. Um, like the taping and all that like perfectly. That takes some time. I don't always have that amount of patience. And ew, really? Okay, I don't know how I mean I get the powder coat, but I don't know how I feel about it. Does that make sense? I understand, but I feel like you could have got like oh, I don't know about that. I feel like that's maybe overkill for what he's doing because it's just inlay. Like I think he could have done the same thing with spray paint and it probably would have held up, fairly well. Now I'm guessing he got another screw. I do have just to let you guys know, I've toyed with the idea of doing some restorations because I feel like if I plan them right, like most of them I could do here in the apartment. Um, yeah, that's a good job. I mean, I again like the aesthetics of the powder coat and whatnot. I don't know. Um, I like his color scheme, but I feel like he could have done that with paint rather than powder coat, but the powder coat will hold up better over time. I mean, I guess it's preference, but it does look good. I like that he still kept a lot of the pitting, and it still looks like an old wrench, but it's, refurbished and new. I do wish that the collar there with the lower jaw, I wish he had tried to smooth that out. I mean, if you're going to paint it, uh, powder coat it, like you might as well smooth that out some, reasonably, because it seems to have more pitting than the handle. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good job though. A lot of respect to him. He could have cleaned out. It looks like he could have cleaned out the channels a little better too. For the toothing on the gear, on the worm gear. They still looked a little black on the inside. Maybe something with a Dremel to kind of run through there. But it looks good. Not a lot of slop. I wonder if it doesn't look like he tried to knurl the the gear. I would have liked to see him put some, attempt to like re-knurl that, because I'm sure that that's nice and flat and rusted and pitted. Obviously, it still works, but I would have liked to have seen that. So yeah, all in all, a good restoration. Work meeting. I attended the one this morning, so I don't need to be on that one. Interesting, very interesting. So let's look at something else he did that's different, because that was mostly aesthetics. This is another one of his, and this is a fan. And we get an idea here of like what happened, like what he did. But it looks like in the before and after, right? It looks like obviously the finish on the fan body's wrecked, and I see it looks like the same fan blade. We'll see if he actually replaces it, because one of the fins is bent, um, and so it looks like it's in kind of rough shape. I'd almost argue that it looks like he replaced it, but I'm not sure. We'll wait and see. But we're gonna see what he does with this, because this is like, electronic, and it's a different type of restoration. But I'll be right back. So I like coffee, right? And so when I mentioned earlier, I was out at the antique store thing over the last weekend, and the woman that I was with and I stumbled across a couple coffee grinders, which is what this is. And so we stumbled across a couple. A lot of them, they were asking like way too much. But this one seemed to be in some kind of disrepair. I'm not going to say it still wouldn't work, but it's not going to finally grind your coffee. And, the wood's in bad shape. The tray's a little, looks like somebody repaired it before. And so, like, they carved out the front so they could slide a new bottom in it. So, like, it's just in general disrepair. There's some, like, notching out of the front of the base and some things. But I toyed with the idea of refurbishing this. We'll see if I actually do it, like everything that I do. Probably not anytime soon. But it's one of the ideas that I had, like, because I like coffee, and I think I would appreciate a nice refurbished manual coffee grinder, because I feel like pulling mine out every so often is a pain. So I do have that. So anyhow, he has done the teardown, or he's doing the teardown. And there we are. The fan blade looks rough. Or maybe it's not as rough as I thought. Yeah, it is bent in some way, somehow. Or at least it looked like it was. It doesn't seem to look that way now. Not the way I was seeing it. Maybe it was just like a glare? I could have swore a fan blade was bent, though. Children! Children! Oh, children are so loud. I probably should shut the office door, but I like to hear them. That way, if one kills the other, I can at least notify the authorities. Okay, so maybe... Well, no, it still looks like kind of it is. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but it seems like that one blade is somehow, like, warped or bent right there. Right? Well, it looks like it to me. Maybe I'm crazy. So we'll see, I guess. And so he's cleaning all these with, like, soap and water kind of mixture, it looks like. So, yeah, I mean, still looks like it's got some life left in it. For an old motor, That's that's not looking that bad. It's obviously not been like worn too crazy. Very interested. I didn't see. I was talking about the coffee grinder. I didn't see. I'm assuming it's a brushed motor. Yeah, so I'm guessing too that he'll go with sandblasting on the housing, and then it looks like he's a powder coat guy, so it's probably going to be powder coat on the finish. Yeah, I mean for a fan though, yeah, you would want that. And I find it interesting that it, I almost wonder if that blade is a replacement already because it doesn't have a shroud. And even back then, most fans had shrouds on them. So it's kind of interesting that it doesn't seem to have one. Okay, this is actually like a new video too. This just came out today. Today it just came out. First ever restoration. Oh, 1 of 5. Oh, okay, so maybe he like redid the video, or maybe it was never a video. And so it just came out today, but it's old, is what we're getting here. Children? Okay. Children started screaming, so I had to mute the mic there for a second. So yeah, this is an interesting one. And this is kind of it's kind of crazy too because according to what he says, this is old. So this is one of his first restorations, or it is his first restoration. So quite interesting, and it looks like he's using paint stripper here on this finish to try to get it to bubble off, which I would have thought maybe since it's earlier, maybe he doesn't have the sandblaster yet. So maybe paint stripper's the way to go, but that's going to be hard to get the inside of that stand the way it's, got the crevice in there. That's going to be interesting. Or maybe he does have the sandblaster and it's going to be a combination of the two. At that point, it's almost like he should just soak it, right? In the paint stripper. And it works like a charm. There you go. After some soaking, everything's coming off really well, it looks like. He's still going to have some surface issues from some of the pitting, I think. It's not going to have a perfect finish, so maybe he'll sand it. It'll be real interesting to see what he does there. But for the most part, it looks like he's got a good finish under the we're going to call it paint. I'd almost say that's more like a powder coat, but I don't know. Does stripper remove powdered coat? I think it would. He's being very thorough though. That's good. Taking his time. And if you look at that brush, it's a short bristle, so it's probably a little tougher than some of the others. I almost wonder if he cut that down on purpose to get that stiffer scrub, so to speak, with the end of that brush. Oh, okay, it's AC motor. Oh yeah, that's whatever stripper he's using is doing a really good job of removing all that finish. All right, let's speed this up a bit because I know some of y'all are getting bored. I know I am. Okay, still brushing. Where are we at here? Come on, intranet. Okay, so now he's cleaning it off, attempting to. I knew he was going to have issues inside that crevice on the stand. He might still have something, it looks like, there on the bottom in the furthest reaches. I guess we'll see how he does it. Or no, it looked like there for a second, like he might have gotten it pretty clean. And then, so yeah, I was right. He's going to sand by hand. Try to clean these up. And it looks like he's doing a decent job, but he's using 400 grit. I don't know if I would have started with 400. I probably would have started on the rough pieces with something a little heavier and tried to work my way down. Nothing too crazy, but like maybe 240 or something to just to try to knock some of that pitting out, and then tried to clean it up as I moved down. He did a good job on the base. It looked like he got the inside of that pretty well, that little crevice on the stand. And now he's hitting some spots with some steel wool. Okay. Not hateful. That bristle brush that he has there, I bought the same thing at my dollar store with the same red handle, so maybe he is in the USA. Or maybe not. You never know. And there goes my miner switching profiles again. Okay. So he's cleaning this out. Let's get to see if we can get to where painting is happening, because I got a feeling he's probably not onto the powder coating yet. Based on the thumbnail, I think he's actually gonna spray paint these with like epoxy paint. We will see it, and it looks like it. Yep, spray paint. Oh, maybe not even epoxy paint. I would have threw some primer on there, because you're going to have to do a lot more coats to try to... Okay, I mean, still not bad. I don't know what he's using, but he's using like a flat white, it looks like. And he's got LED lighting, or fluorescent lighting, and it's not being kind to his camera. So it looks like he's learned and improved over some of this, over time. But yeah, it's in this early video, according to him, it's suffering a bit. Okay, you got to get the inside of that crevice a little bit more on like the second coat. There you go. Okay, I feel better about it. That stand still seems a little weak. I mean, I'm sure it's obviously fine. It's done all right. But it seems a little weak for the motor that it's holding up. But it is metal, whereas a lot of things today are like reinforced plastic, so I guess. Pretty decent finish. Looks pretty smooth. Coating the underside. Alright. I still gotta say though, if he, I saw the finished product. If he doesn't try to get like a fan shroud for this, ugh, that's kind of rough. Like there should be a fan shroud of some kind on it, like one of the old wire mesh, metal ones. That's what it should have. And I would like to think he could find one that would fit it, but who knows? The kids are screaming. You got to be really careful though. Cleaning up bolts like that, you have to be really careful. Because if you take too much material off, then, you've kind of messed it up intrinsically as far as the size of the fitment goes. You could always use like an adjustable or something, but you got to be real careful. Try not to take off too much material, especially when it's corroded. You're trying to, clean it up. Okay, so his soldering skills look decent. All right, nothing. Uh, where's the heat shrink, bro? What's your plan? Oh! Oh! Oh, I can't watch. I can't watch. Bro. You went through all this trouble. Oh. And you're using... I'm not going to hate on you. It's alright. It works. But electrical tape does not a secure connection make. I mean, if you're installing a car radio, it'll probably do alright. I like the rubber insulating tape more so than, electrical tape. But, oh, man, come on. You can't. You should have used some heat shrink. But this is his old, maybe even first video, according to him. And so, try not to be too hard on him. He's putting in new washers. That's good. Or new or refurbished. I'm assuming new. Okay, and he got the fan blade on. That fan still looked like it wasn't balanced to me. What the hell? Okay, what are you... What? What are you doing? Oh, okay, the switch. Alright. The kids. Oh my god, the kids. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but I certainly can. Okay, so he's wiring up the switch. Alright. Huh. I can't see what kind of screwdriver he's using. That would give us an idea if he was in the States. But from what I'm seeing so far, they look like, unfortunately, I'm going to go ahead and say it, they look like, cheaper tools from what I can see. So maybe he's not in the States. Maybe he's somewhere else. And there's not any audio, which is typical for these types of videos, but, that precision screwdriver doesn't look like anything I've seen. And his little wire nips are definitely the little needle nose there. They're definitely from China or Taiwan. These kids are crazy. I'm sure at this point that you guys can hear them in the background because this is like a podcast microphone, so it catches everything. I'll have to look at the meter next time they're getting crazy loud, see if they're bumping some decibels, but they're in there screaming and hollering about Roblox or whatever it is that they're playing. Jesus. All right, I mean, and he got like the the right chord, right? It's like the old fabric braided cord. Well, I say braided, more like spun, twisted, but it's not horrible. Let's see the plug. That'll tell us where he's at. I couldn't see there. I want to see the plug so I can tell where you're at geographically. Okay, putting the grommet in, tucking everything. Okay, he is in. I want to say that looks like the UK. So that fan blade is not balanced. Yeah, that's not balanced at all. That one blade's curved really bad. It's gonna blow on a fan this small. Like it's not an issue. Not as big an issue, but especially without a shroud, I would be worried about that fan blade coming off. Right, Mark? Tape? Yeah, you can just see that that thing's like wobbling. That one blade's out. It's got like a bend to it. Yeah, yeah, it's the one that's like at 90 degrees right here, coming to the center. That one's got a bend right at the end that the others don't seem to have. They're flat. Yeah, that thing's, it's all kinds of screwy. And again, it's his first restoration. So, like, we're cool, but get a replacement fan and try to find a shroud for that thing. That's your best bet. Like, that's somebody gonna stick their finger in that thing or put their nose in it or something. Okay. I will like the video because it's decent. Okay, so we're gonna kill that. We're gonna go and see if we can find. Okay, this guy did like a retractable knife. Let's. This is a completely different channel. Oh wait. I gotta hit this. View on YouTube. Okay, no ads for me. Let's go. So it's a retractable blade from Stanley. That sucker is old. Okay, it's articulating. You can make it a knife. You can fold it up. It's not very compact, but I guess that is like safer. That's cool. Maybe I will start a restoration channel. Screw it. I have to worry and waste all my time with talking to you guys and all this. And if I do this, I can just throw out some rubber gloves and be anonymous and screw stuff up. I don't know about the powder coating though. I won't get into that because I'm not putting paint into my oven. Use old oil to remove rust. Is this... That doesn't look like oil. Unless that's like gasoline or something that he's soaking it in. And it didn't do a very good job. Maybe removing like surface rust, but... Not much else. Huh. Okay. It doesn't. That looks more like by oil. Maybe he means petrol. I don't know. It didn't take that paint off either. So that's interesting. I don't have time for making videos. Well, I might. I started my work from home job. I got my promotion. So, like for instance, all day today I was behind me, working at the computer and doing conference calls pretty much all of the day that I decided to be clocked in because I control my own time. So, and I'm traveling on Sunday to a site, so I didn't even think about that until the end of the day today. But I don't have to clock 40 hours by like Friday, probably only like 35. So we'll see how the rest of the week plays out for me. Okay, so uh, I think the grit on that wheel is a little heavy for what he's doing, but we'll see how it plays out for him. I would like to see a finer wire brush that looked like a very stiff brush on that. I mean, it did okay, it looks like, but I would have liked to have seen a finer brush. Just look at that thing. If you look at it when he stops, that's a very coarse brush. Okay, so now he's got the bandsaw chugging away. Or bandsaw. Sander. Chugging away. Cleaning that up. Alright. Now the only thing there, you gotta be careful when you're sanding that knurling, because then you're flattening it out, right? Even if it's just a little, if the knurling, and I know that's mostly for show, because it's recessed, but I would just like to see, and that, ooh, he was holding that in the jaws by the threads. That's not great. So now he's going to polish it. Polish the blade. Ooh, that knurling, man. Get a Dremel and a wire wheel and go to town, like with a brass one. Oh God, are you gonna paint it? He's gonna paint it. Bust out the X-Acto knife. Jeez, I hope he's just gonna do the whole inside and not try to actually like carve out the Stanley. You need an X-Acto knife. It may not seem like you do, but you do. Especially for those corners. Okay, he blacked it. I'm assuming that was just spray paint. We will never know, but 90% chance it's spray paint. Especially with how much he taped it. Okay. Not too bad. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to accent the Stanley. Huh. I mean, Not hateful. He did an alright job. Not too bad. It looks a lot better than it did. Yeah, that's definitely spray paint. So this is Slim Restoration, and he only has 73 subscribers. So he needs some support. So good for you. Good for you on Reddit. We will. Can we like the post? Yeah. So he's doing pretty good. Not too bad. But yes, thank you, Larry, for the promotion. Yada yada yada. This guy's asking for advice on how he should paint the wrench. Maybe the body there where the nameplate is. A little bit there. I would keep the handle clear, obviously. The toothing on the worm gear. Well, it's not really a worm gear, but on the mechanism, and then maybe some accent at the top there in that recess. I think I'm going to cut it off here, guys. It's 10:30. I've been on here for a couple hours ranting and raving and crying over SK Tools. And doing a little bit of this. So I think that's fair. I've almost made it through this 12% beer. Oh, it's going to get me to the last drop. But anyway, I think I'm going to cut it off here for the week. You guys have a good night. I hope that you do. Buy more American-made stuff so it doesn't go extinct. It sounds like we're running out of companies slowly, and there's not that many left. So until next time, and the next video, which I'm sure will come out sometime in the near future, I will see you guys at the very least next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. And until then, take care of yourself and each other, and I